Hey everyone, it's Lainey. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be making a card using this Love You die from Spellbinders. I'm also going to be incorporating colors from Concord and Ninth. We have Ballet Slipper, Sweet Pea, Grapefruit, and Tide Pool. I have already taken the liberty of cutting the colors down with my paper trimmer, so I'm going to move these aside and bring in these little strips. And what I'm going to do is create a pattern with these strips here, and the only ones that are methodically cut are these three here in Sweet Pea. These are 1/2 inch, and everything else was just kind of a random cut because I wanted that variation just to kind of change it up. So now I need to cut the love out, and I'm going to be cutting this out 2 times on a 110-pound cardstock, making sure that fit in my Spellbinders. Okay, and what I want to do is line up the die at the bottom of this cardstock here, and I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't shift so we can use the rest of this paper for the second cut. And I'm just doing this to create a little bit of dimension and make the card more substantial, or the letters more substantial. So gonna get this taped down and run this through my Spellbinders Platinum 6. Okay, so I have my letters cut out twice, and we have our strips of color. Now I'm going to bring in my panel, which is an A2 size, which is a 5.5 by 4 1/4. I am also going to be building this up on my card base here, which is A2 size as well, but it is in a landscape orientation, but still a top folding card as so. I just wanted to show you that before we start to build the panel. But first thing is the colors. So as I mentioned, the Sweet Pea here I cut out 3 times, and they are at a 1/2 inch, and everything else is cut twice and kind of randomly cut. There's no sizing that I was trying to achieve. And I wanted the Sweet Pea here to be the same because I wanted it to be one in the middle and the 2 outside colors. Okay, so now let's see here. I am just going to lay these down in the pattern that I like. And now you'll really be able to see the size difference here with the colors. How pretty is this color scheme? I love it. They complement each other so well, and we've got a little sliver here of Tide Pool. And what's the next color? Our Grapefruit. Is this Grapefruit or Sherbet? Yeah, it's Grapefruit. Okay. And then Ballet Slipper. And this is the pattern that I'm going with. So now we just need to get them glued down, and then we will layer our text on top. So let me just slide these over, and I'm going to start with the middle strip here. Alright, so starting with the middle, and I'm going to place this down. Added a little too much glue, it kind of got on my glass mat, but that's okay, we can just wipe that up. Alright, and now I'm just going to apply glue directly to the panel, and then add each color. And I want them to be touching. Although I did contemplate on having them spaced, but since our love is in white, I thought that that would be a little too much white poking through or exposed. So just gonna have them touching, and then we will have white space on the corners. Okay, and I'm just gonna repeat this process until each one is glued down and secure. Okay, our last strip, and now you can see that we have variation in sizing and also utilizing the repetition of color, and then still allowing a little white space on our panel. Let's just go ahead and move that aside, and I need to glue these together as well. So these are 2 layers of 110-pound cardstock. I just got some on my nail there. Oh crud, that was not smart. Okay. And I'm just going to glue all these together as well. And I'm not sure if you're able to tell if you don't have this die. Laying down the letters, they overlap a bit. So here you can see that it is flat, it's not rounded, so that is where the V is going to overlap just a bit. And the L has a bit of a cut out on it, and this will be laid down as so. Once I get it all glued down, you'll have a closer look, but I just wanted to mention that. Okay, and I got this die on sale from their spring warehouse sale last year, and I really like it. It can be universal. It doesn't just have to be for Valentine's Day, although I am creating this for that season because that is the next holiday coming up. But this is great for an anniversary card, a Mother's Day card, and obviously the Valentines. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, these colors are obviously non-traditional in terms of Valentines, but these are perfect spring colors. You could recreate this for Mother's Day because the colors are definitely spring inspired. Now I need to trim down the excess here, and once that's trimmed down, we can adhere the love. We need to get the U cut out and add some embellishments as well. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to turn my card over, and what I'm going to do is just start trimming off the ends, and once I get them trimmed down a little bit, I'll be able to align the card panel and really get close to the panel itself so everything has straight, clean cuts. Alright, so now it's getting closer to the panel itself, the strips, so now I'm going to be able to really align this and get this trimmed down really close. All right, and now we have our panel done. It is super humid today, and I can literally feel the humidity in my cardstock. All right, so all these little pieces here, or majority of them, I'm going to keep. So I have this little sleeve here that I store my finished cards in, and I am keeping these little pieces because I eventually want to create some kind of mosaic card with these pieces here. So just going to keep the larger ones, and some of these little smaller ones I'm going to have to throw away. But I thought that this would be, well, hopefully, what I have in my mind, I hope it turns out and once I get enough pieces, I'll start to build it, and I'll definitely show you guys maybe in an Instagram post, because it's going to be so much gluing. Definitely not the best for a video. All right, so now let's go ahead and just start to build up our card. I'm going to bring in my card base, and I'm doing this just because of the humidity. Everything is just kind of wompy. All right, so I'm just going to apply glue all over the front of my card base here, and then get our panel glued down, and then we will align the love text. Okay. And with that glue, it provides just a little time for some wiggle room. Okay, now it is stuck down. Let's go ahead and move this up. And the love, let's go ahead and lay this down in the position, because we are going to have a little extra room on the sides. So I want to try to get those margins as close to the same as possible. All right, so I think it's about even with the margins, and looking at it, I want to build this up. I do have this foam tape here. It's a very thin strip. This is from a pack from Dollar Tree, and now I'm wondering if it's too thin. Let me pull the medium size and compare and see if that will work better. All right, so this is the medium, and I think the medium's going to work better, but because we've got to overlap some of these letters, it may interfere with the overlapping. So, oh, what to do. Let's just go with the small and do my best to align it in the middle, so it'll give me a little space on the sides to align some of the letters. Okay, getting that cut down, and this, okay. All right, so I think that is going to be the best option. And now for the O is going to be on top of the L, so now I'll just have to be attentive of this little area here. I can't really put foam tape there because it's going to interfere with the layering. So I'm just going to, let's move this over and add some foam tape to each letter. Okay, so now I left this exposed, and I'm just going to test that out and see. And it seems that this needs to be removed, and it is ripping the paper, of course. Okay, and I'm going to place a little bit down here at the bottom. Okay, let's see how that aligns. Okay, much better. Okay, so now for the V. So the V is going to overlap with the O. So with this side of the V, I want to make sure that I keep the foam tape more on the inside versus the middle, like I did for the first two letters. And then for the E, let's think. And so the E is going to be underneath the V as well. Okay, so once more, keeping the foam tape on the inner side of the V. So just have to be a little methodical, but still super easy card, just having to take this part a little slow to make my life easier in the layering process. All right, and our last one, I'm going to use these little excess pieces here for this area. Okay, made it a little too long. I'm going to trim that down. Okay, sticky, sticky, sticky. Okay, and just like that, they all seem to be laying down well. All right, so now let's make this permanent. So what I'm going to do is remove the backer and then apply some glue. Well, that didn't work out. There we go. And then apply some glue to the adhesive just to give me a little extra time to maneuver this, because the alignment is important. Okay. Real quick. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to repeat the process, and then we can have some fun with some embellishments and then figuring out what color we want the U to be in so it can stand out on top of this white text here. All right, let's position this last letter, shifting the E a little underneath that V. Okay. Needs to be shifted up just a bit. All right, and it looks like our margins on the side are pretty similar. So that was a success. All right, so this is what we have so far. I really like the dimension. I'm glad that we went with that foam tape and the colors. So now for the U, we have incorporated these colors here. We could definitely use one of the colors for the U to keep it repetitive. And you know, the U will go about right here. So now what color? I have my little stickers here. So we used Sweet Pea, Ballet Slipper, Grapefruit, and Tide Pool. We obviously don't, or I say obvious, I don't want to come in again with the Sweet Pea because we have more of that color. I think that that would be a little overkill for the Sweet Pea. I really like the Ballet Slipper. It's soft, and I think that that would pair nicely on top of the white text. Or is it going to be too soft? Maybe let me cut out Grapefruit and see how that looks. So I'm just going to take a little sliver of this. Okay, and yeah, I think that that will work. I think that'll look good. Okay, so let me just get this tape down and run it through the die cutting machine and then see how this looks. All right. Well, I have all those little shards. I need to get some new plates. Okay, and let's just align this in, see how this looks. I like it. All right, so I have some embellishments pulled. I have 3 different types. We have just the dewdrops here. We also have pearls in 2 different sizes. These are from Hobby Lobby. And then I also pulled some of these gold adhesives. And I'm really contemplating using the pearls. What do we think? What's going on if we use the pearls or should we use the dewdrops? Let me get some of these out and we can just kind of play with them and then, I don't know, make them permanent. Okay. So that's kind of what the dewdrop's going to look like. It's obviously just going to let the color shine through. Where do we want the pearls? So these are already sticky. So let's see. Oh, I think I like the pearls. Maybe something different. And I'm positioning the embellishments around, kind of around the U, so the eye goes into the U. I want the eye to travel to the U because it is so much smaller, so the embellishments just kind of provide a little direction for the eye, if that makes sense. All right. I think we're going with the pearls, guys. And can one fit in here? Is it too narrow? Well, okay, really pressing these down so they get stuck down. And I could easily take them off with some tweezers if I wanted, because they're not that sticky to rip the paper. Put those dewdrops down. I think I like it. Okay. So now I'm just going to use some tweezers and let's make the U permanent. Okay, and really paying attention to the openings of the O and the U because I want the white to come through. I don't want the other colors to come through, just so it really stands out. So that's why I chose to, that's why I chose to position it where I have. Okay. Uh-oh. All right, are we done with the card? Oh my goodness. We are. Should I add more embellishments? Maybe I went up a little too high. All right, so we have a finished card using Spellbinders and a little bit of Concord and Ninth. Would you have changed the embellishments? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of the pearls? And I love the color palette and the dimension, a little repetition, and I think it turned out well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.